Hi guys, how's everybody doing? I hope everyone is doing well whenever you see this, day or night. And yeah, so this is going to be a general reading for Pisces for June 15th through June 30th. It is general reading, so it's going to cover anything like love, work, friends, family, health, etc. So always take it how it resonates for you. And I always encourage everybody to, if you haven't already, you can get a free birth chart online. Even if you don't know your exact birth time, as long as you know where you were born and the date, you can get a pretty good birth chart to find out your other placements. For instance, we all have all 12 zodiac signs throughout our whole chart. Okay, so this reading may resonate for you, even if you're not a sun, rising, moon, or Venus Pisces placement. Okay, so always encourage people to do that. And what else? Oh, yes. I pulled all your tarot cards here, Pisces, and your oracle cards at the very end already. So if you're not watching the live and you want to pull up the picture, because I always take a picture of all your cards here. So some people, if you want, you can pull it up while you watch or listen or whatever. And it's also just there if you want to look at it at a later point. So if you want to do that, all you have to do is click in the description box below and follow the instructions there. What else was I going to say? Oh, yes. Whenever you see this message, it is meant for you, as time is fluid and relative. So for instance, for instance, this reading, okay, it could resonate like 6 months in the past or 6 months in the future, 6 weeks, 6 days, 3 months, 4 months, 2 months. Okay. So it really just depends, right? Like, since I said time is fluid and relative, and time is timeless, right? Even though that sounds funny, okay? So keep that in mind as well. But yeah, before we start your reading here, Pisces, I'm going to be going over a couple key astrology notes. Sorry about that. Let me turn that down. That's a general. That's for everybody. That's going to be taking place, since today is June 15th through June 30th. Okay, what the original date for this reading. Okay. So on June 17th, there's a first quarter moon, okay, that's slowly building up to the full moon on June 24th, that's in Capricorn, okay. And then going back after the 17th, right, we have on June 20th, a couple different things going on, okay. So we have the summer solstice. So for some people, it's a holiday and they celebrate. So if you do, happy summer solstice ahead of time, right? So I'm not sure when you'll be watching this, okay? It's also Father's Day here in the States, so if you celebrate Father's Day, happy Father's Day in advance. If you don't, that's okay too. And then the other two things that are going on as far as astrology goes is that it's the start of Cancer season on June 20th. Okay, so the sun enters Cancer. Okay, and then also the last thing on June 20th is Jupiter goes into retrograde. So I've said this in a couple other videos, but retrogrades get a bad rep. They're not all bad. Okay, sometimes it just means that you have to go over something again that wasn't finalized the right way, or there was a lesson still there for you, or a repeating lesson, or somebody from the past that maybe you met during that time. It all just really depends, right? Since we're talking about general. But I looked it up for one of the other readings, and oh no, I hope I saved it. Oh yes, here it is. Okay, so for Jupiter retrograde, right, that starts on the 20th. Sometimes it might be helpful to look back at last year, what was going on for you around the last Jupiter retrograde, okay? So last year, Jupiter retrograde was from May 14th through September 13th, 2020. Okay, so that could have something of significance for you, but if it doesn't, that's okay too, It's just a way to look, different ways to look at any planet changes, right? So whether it's direct or whether it's retrograde, you can always look back, okay, what happened or what was going on for me at that time a year ago, okay, and see if anything has change it, if anything has changed, or if there's any similarities. Okay, so just something to think about. But also, I also wanted to say too, before we go further in and then start your reading here, is that Jupiter rules certain themes. Okay, so it rules Sagittarius and Pisces zodiac signs. Okay, so it deals with issues with travel, wealth, like big assets or big stocks, right? Not everyday wealth, but bigger wealth, okay? Education, religion, law, philosophy, and the feeling of freedom, exploration, and expansion, okay? So those are all Jupiter themes, all right? And so when Jupiter goes into retrograde, it can be that some of those themes don't run as smoothly as normally, but it could also be that those themes are running fine for you and the people that you're interacting with. So like for instance, with travel, it could be um, that you start traveling again with somebody that you traveled with before. You could be going to a place that you've been to already, stuff like that. Okay, so like I said, it's not all bad when stuff goes into retrograde. Okay, but anyway, let's move forward here. So speaking of retrogrades and planets going into direct, on June 22nd, we have Mercury going direct. So I know a lot of people are really excited about that, as Mercury rules Gemini, right? And we had, or we're still having, right? Because it hasn't gone direct yet. Is the Mercury retrograde during Gemini season. So since Mercury rules Gemini, it could have been pretty intense for some people, particularly Gemini. Okay, but again, it's all kind of general, it depends. But yeah, so Mercury rules communication, electronics. It does rule some stuff with education and some stuff with finance. Okay, but anyway, I think I've mentioned before too, that anytime a planet goes retrograde, right, backwards or forwards direct, some people can start feeling those changes at different times. So we have Mercury going direct on June 22nd. So that could be happening. For some people, you may already start feeling it slowly going forward. Other people might not feel it until, the middle of July, the end of July, or even months from now. Okay, so it kind of just depends on how sensitive you are, to these energies. Okay, and then moving forward, on June 24th, Saturn sextiles Chiron. So Chiron is the wounded healer, okay, and he is one of the Greek gods, and he deals with all issues of healing, right? And a side note, I do have a Chiron candle on my website if you want to check it out in the description box below. But you don't have to. I have other Greek gods and goddesses there, but anyway, that's just a side note. But anyway, yeah, so when Saturn sextiles Chiron, Saturn deals with responsibilities, getting serious about things. It's a little bit of like a more rigid energy or stern energy. Sometimes people, say Saturn is like your parents or like an authority figure is one way to look at it too. Okay. But when this Chiron is sextiling Saturn, it could be saying that there's a more healing, calming, nurturing energy around Saturn themes. So getting serious about something, it could feel less pressure for you about that because you have that Chiron energy underneath it. Or it could be if you're getting looking at responsibilities that you had in the past or future responsibilities coming up. It could have a more softer energy around it. Whatever it is for you, I feel like it's a good thing, okay, if it resonates for you. And then the very last thing before we get into your reading is the last retrograde we'll talk about here today is Neptune is going into retrograde on June 25th. So Neptune is similar to Pluto, some of the themes, but it's still different, okay? So Neptune also rules Pisces, and it deals with magic, dreams, the underworld, okay? Creative energy, a lot of beautiful things. But then because it rules dreams and the underworld and creativity, there is the shadow side of possible confusion, illusions, and issues with drugs or alcohol can be for some people, right? So when I talk about Pisces, if you're familiar before with tarot, you know that Pisces is the moon card in the tarot. Okay, so there's not enough information. So if you see like a coat rack at night, it looks really scary. You could half asleep or not, having the lights on, say, oh my God, is that a person? Is that a monster? Whatever. You don't know what it is, right? But when you flip on the light, you see, okay, it's just a coat rack. So that's like not having all the information kind of thing and it confusing you. So, it's going to be different for some people, but with the drugs and alcohol, let's say if Neptune was normally in direct, you could be feeling the drugs and alcohol more intensely, right? Depending again also where it is in your chart and where you are in your life, blah, blah, blah. Always be safe, okay, with, when you partake, okay? But if you do, right? Not everybody does. But if it's in retrograde, it could be for some of you that your tolerance is different. You could be feeling the effects less intensely, okay? Or maybe that has nothing to do with you. So just wanted to point that out there real quickly. So with that being said, let's do our little sound bell and get into your reading for Pisces. And yeah, I forgot to say, if you're new, welcome. And if you're coming back, welcome back. And I really hope everyone is having a good time whenever you tune in. All right. So if you want to, you can take a deep breath in and out whenever. Excuse me. Or you can just listen to. All right. Okay. Okay, Pisces. I think that was a good one, hopefully. All right. So you have a pretty good reading here. Just want to say that real quick before we get into it. So, yeah, if you've been here before, you kind of know the drill. But for new people, just in case, okay. So this first row here is energy starting around June 15th today when I'm filming, but it could be a little bit before, a little bit after. It depends on the person, right? Since it is a general reading, but going through this week and into this upcoming weekend. And then the last row here is energy for the last week and weekend of June till about June 30th. Again, a little bit before, a little bit after. Okay, so let me just set my timer here. And my sweater keeps falling down. It's been hot here, guys, in LA. And then I turned on the AC because I didn't want any more dust from the construction going on up on the roof. And then I got cold. So it's like on and off. All right. Anyway, what do we have here for you, Pisces? So we have King of Cups upright, Prince of Sacred Circles upright, Ace of Staves or Ace of Wands upright, Ten of Swords upright, Seven of Sacred Circles or Seven of Pentacles upright, and King of Staves or King of Wands upright. Okay, so we're going to go over your first main 6 cards here in the middle, and then we'll get into your confirmation cards and also what's on the top and the bottom of each deck, okay? But yeah, so Pisces, to start your reading off here with this King of Cups energy, this is a very nice energy of feeling emotionally content or happy or secure about something, okay, that deals with emotions. You could have a lot of support around you currently. Again, Pisces, this could be past energy, recent past energy, or energy still lingering around, okay? But, like I said, not a bad card to start your reading off with here. So here's the King of Cups, and he's in his little medieval king, okay? So this deck that I've been using for the main 6 cards here, it's the Ancestral Path Tarot, and it has Japanese, Native American, African, all sorts of different things, okay? Celtic or medieval, right? Like this card, okay? But yeah, nice energy of support, right? There's a throne behind him, if you can see it here. And his castle is in the distance. He has everything that he needs. It's a very abundant energy, right? People look up to him, respect him, okay? He is a king, okay? So, he at one point he was a prince, okay? So it also speaks of hard work or leveling up in some way for some of you too, all right? But really nice energy to start your reading off with. And then your second card here, Pisces, is the Prince of Sacred Circles, also known as the Prince of Pentacles in other decks, okay? So you see this Native American guy here, and he's, not super old, but not super young, right? He's the prince, okay? But he's got his peace pipe, okay? The Native American peace pipe, okay? So this card is about communication. It can be for some of you. It could be there was a medium-sized communication that you gave to someone or someone gave to you, or a medium-sized opportunity from the universe. What would be a medium-sized communication would be, instead of asking someone to breakfast, someone asks you to lunch, okay? Whatever it may be, just like the next thing, okay? Leveling up slowly in some way or some form of communication, okay? And then a medium-sized opportunity from the universe would be if you were an entry-level position, then they offer you a manager position, something like that, okay? So you kind of understand. There's also a nice energy here with this Prince of Sacred Circles of being open to learning something new, again, in the middle of something, but still on their way to going upwards to becoming a king eventually, okay? But yeah, again, really nice energy here. I would say for the whole week that we're in now and this upcoming weekend, Pisces, really nice energy. All right. And then your third card here is the Ace of Spades. So sorry, one second. Okay. Sometimes I lose my voice from talking so much. Yes, anyway, this is the Ace of Staves, okay, or also known as the Ace of Wands here, okay? So this is also a very abundant energy, okay, accepting gifts from the universe, okay, a very fertile energy, a very creative energy, abundant energy, just really nice all around, okay? And you see here with this kind of Egyptian, well, it isn't kind of, it is an Egyptian scene, okay, with the pyramids in the background, and the Ankh in the foreground. It's supposed to be almost like the wand, okay? So, yeah, like I said, your first three cards are really beautiful energy here, Pisces, okay? And this could be happening, this energy could be increasing even more, towards the end of this week or this upcoming weekend, okay? All right, now let me just check this because it got super quiet. Wanted to make sure I had a little music just in case. Okay. Now going forward here, Pisces, your fourth card and really your only negative card, right? Nothing is entirely negative or entirely positive, okay? A lot of times it's just a warning to pay attention to something. Is your fourth card, the Ten of Swords upright. Okay, so this talks about mental confusion, anxiety, overthinking, worry, staying up late at night, and also exhaustion, right? Because there's a person on the ground here. I don't know if you can see it, okay? They're dead, I guess. They feel dead anyway. And all these swords are inside, okay? Inside this person that's laying down. So it doesn't mean you're dead, right? It just means like a feeling of being exhausted, dead, tired, that kind of thing, okay? But there's just like a lot of worry here, and you can see that energy with this kind of Japanese samurai looking guy here, okay? And we'll get into kind of, why that card has come up for you when we get into our confirmation cards a little further down here, okay? But you still have some amazing cards, so don't freak out. Like I said, that's your only card out of a lot of cards here, so keep that in mind, Pisces. Okay. Now your fifth card here, getting stuck on this is Delphina, guys. This is Delphina. She's one of my witches, one of my dolls. I have a lot of other dolls. I don't think I named her yet, you guys. If I did, I forgot. So I'm sorry. I'll have to think about that. But maybe at one point I'll do a little video that just shows all the weird, cool stuff in my place here. But anyway, Pisces. So your fifth card is the Seven of Sacred Circles upright. Okay. So this is a nice energy of planning for the future and really taking stock of how much work you've done and how much work still needs to be done. Okay, so it's like definitely an evaluation. It could be an evaluation of yourself, right? Being honest with yourself about your work ethic, right? Are you working too hard? Are you not working hard enough? Okay, or it could be someone else is evaluating you in that way. But I really feel like with this representation of this Native American kind of spread of like, putting these grains, right, and these certain fruits that aren't going to spoil right away or foods that aren't going to spoil right away for the winter. I feel like it's just, yeah, really about that planning and, excuse me, let me turn that down, and planning for the future, okay? So really nice energy, and especially after, um, this Ten of Swords energy. So maybe for you Pisces too, in this second week, the last week of June, if you get into that Ten of Swords energy of having anxiety, worry, overthinking, being exhausted, staying up late at night, whatever it may be, maybe a way to get out of that is to see what you've done already. Look at your past work or your past work ethic, okay? And then try to focus on not just the negative or things that stress you out, but also the positive. And then take that as a catalyst to plan for the future, right? With the Seven of Sacred Circles we just talked about, okay? And then your last card in the main six here, Pisces, is the King of Spades upright or King of Wands upright. Okay, so this is a very nice, abundant energy, a confident energy, okay, a passionate, creative energy, all of those things with this Egyptian king here, okay, and then he's got two lions, one on each side, okay, so he has power, he's very courageous, okay, he's got the courage, okay, he feels like he has also all the tools that he needs to get the job done. Same thing with your first card that came out here, Pisces, the King of Cups, right? You have two kings and then you have one prince that we talked about, okay, in the main six here. So they're both, having a lot of support around them, and people look up to them and they feel like they have all the tools that they need, okay? So that's beautiful. And they're kind of both like bookends here. One's at the beginning and one's at the end, okay? So that's really nice, Pisces. All right, with that being said, we have your confirmation cards, and we have an additional two confirmation cards that I normally keep it to three, but this time we have four. No, we have five. Sorry, I can't count. Hopefully the camera will focus again. Sometimes it'll focus on my ring, and then maybe me. It's kind of focusing on my ring. Okay. Anyway, I move real slow. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna just move real slow. So yeah, we have more cards, confirmation cards than normal for you, but my spirit guides told me to put them on the board, so I do what they say. All right, so let's get into it. And actually, what's on the top and the bottom of both of your decks here that I usually go over in different places depending on the reading, they actually want me to talk about it all at the end here, okay? So I don't think that's ever happened before, but it's not bad or good, it's just interesting. So let's get into it here. Okay, so your first confirmation card is the Sun card upright. Then you have the High Priestess upright, the Queen of Wands upright, the Seven of Swords in reverse, and the Strength card. Okay, so really nice. All right, so we'll go in order here, Pisces. So your first card, this is energy from the recent past, okay, is the Sun upright. Okay, this is a very passionate, okay, abundant creative energy for momentum, positive energy, right, with the horse moving forward, and a lot of youthful energy. Sometimes it's a kid on the horse, and this time it's like a young man, right? But this could be energy from the recent past, your energy, possibly Pisces, or someone around you helping you, influencing you. but beautiful, right? And also the sun talks about enlightenment, okay? So enlightenment being spiritual downloads, aha moments. I finally understand something. I have all the information now. I can see things from a lot of different perspectives, different angles, sides, whatever. Okay, so this really feels like a catalyst card for you, Pisces, or fuel that kind of got you into all these beautiful, abundant cards that we already talked about. But when it's paired together with the King of Cups here, all right, your first card that we have, it's just so beautiful, right? Because he has some type of happiness or emotional contentment or fulfillment. The cup is upright, okay? And he has this look on his face, like almost like he just did have some type of realization or spiritual download or aha moment here, okay? So it's interesting. He looks like deep in thought about something, and he's also holding a book over here. I don't know if you guys can see that, okay? So maybe that's his journal where he writes things down, whatever it is, okay? But, right, there's knowledge in books. Knowledge is power, right? Just like the sun card. So, really nice energy, though. And then when you have the Ten of Swords here upright with the sun, okay, the sun is confirming it. It's saying, hopefully, you will let go, and we know you already do, right? Because we already talked about what is happening in your last week here. Once you let go of any anxiety, worry, overthinking, depression, being exhausted, okay, staying too much in your head with the Ten of Swords energy, once you let that go, Pisces, then you have some type of enlightenment about, okay, this is an unhealthy way to think, or I'm overthinking, or I need more balance there in my mental capacity or whatever, okay? The more you get into that energy, the more abundant you will be and move forward. And also, you could start feeling younger, right? That youthful energy, right? The more worry we have, the older it makes us feel. Okay, excuse me. I think I need a sip of coffee for a lot of different reasons. Hold on. Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry, girl. Let me see. Oops. There we go. Pisces. So your second confirmation card is also really nice energy, the High Priestess, okay? So this is all about intuition, okay? Inner knowing, trusting yourself, being divinely protected, having your emotions under control, right? Because you know yourself, know thyself, right? And also there's a spider web above her head. That's the gun. That is the God. Oh my gosh, I can't even talk. That is the divinely protected, okay, energy, right? Because in Native American culture, they believe that the spider web is the grandmother spirit, okay? So really beautiful, abundant energy here with all the green, a lot of growth, prosperity, right? And so when this high priestess, okay, is coming in, and this is again energy from the recent past, it's confirming the Prince of Sacred Circles or Prince of Pentacles upright, and the Seven of Sacred Circles or Seven of Pentacles upright. So, pentacles, right? We think of money, coins, but it isn't just money, right? Abundance isn't just money. It can be whatever you're currently trying to manifest in your life, okay? So, starting your own business, starting a relationship, setting a goal for yourself, whatever it is, okay? But it's really nice, beautiful energy here, okay? So when this high priestess comes in, it's almost helping you with your communication, right? The more you know yourself, the better you are able to communicate and share with others, right? So that communication coming in, or the one that was going out from you, right? Or just a general opportunity from the universe coming in, okay? The more you know yourself, if an opportunity comes in and you don't like it, you're going to say, no, that's not for me. But if it is for you, then like you'll know it, okay? And also with the Seven of Sacred Circles or Seven of Pentacles, yeah, when you have your intuition, you're going to know how to plan. You're going to know how to evaluate yourself honestly, okay, and tell anyone else if they evaluated you incorrectly, okay. But really nice energy. Okay, this one is here. This is here. Okay. And then, okay, hopefully it's not too loud. I think it got louder. Okay, maybe not. Sometimes I'm like, wait, what is that? Is that the music? Oh, my spirit guides. What is that? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so going on here, Pisces. Your third confirmation card is the Queen of Wands upright. So this is also a very creative energy, and I want to show you too, going back to the Sun card. She's holding the sunflower. That also represents enlightenment, and these are both past energies for you, okay? So I just want to show you that there. She has the sunflower from the Sun card, okay? And so this is a woman who feels a lot of support around her. She's very confident, but she also has this very peaceful energy to her, okay, as well. All right. And very abundant, of course, okay? So when this Queen of Wands energy is confirming the Ace of Staves or Ace of Wands, and also, actually, yeah, you have this right here, all three wands, okay? So actually, I'll show you them all together. This deck, they call them staves, but it's wands, okay? So sorry, excuse me. Look at all your wands, okay? So when the Queen of Wands comes in here to confirm the Ace of Wands, she's saying the more you feel supported, Pisces, the more you embrace that enlightenment, the more you embrace peaceful energy, whatever it is, the more abundant you will be, the more you can manifest things in your life and accept gifts from the universe, okay? Get into that creative, fertile energy, all right? And the same thing here, when you accept this enlightenment, this peaceful energy, the support around you, you can get into that king energy, the silent confidence, the courage, the passion, all those beautiful things. I know I have Pisces somewhere in my chart, but I don't remember. I need to check because I'm like, this is a pretty good reading. I'm like, okay, this happens for me too. All right. So this is where all your other cards are. I don't know if you guys can see it from here, but yes, right on the bell. See, I'll just show you for a second here. Can you see? These are all your other cards at the end. Anyway, you'll see it in the photo. Okay. So your fourth confirmation card, and where we're going to talk about what's on the top and the bottom of both of your decks here, is with this Seven of Swords in the reverse, okay? This is so beautiful. This is how you want to see this card in the reverse position here, Pisces, because it means you're letting go of a heavy burden, okay? You're finally starting to possibly get, for some of you, more adequate help with something too, okay? So when the card is right side up, just for reference, you can see this man carrying all these heavy swords, okay? It's really heavy on his back. That's the burden. And then this little boy's like, I'll help you. And you're like, dude, you can't even carry that, okay? Like, what are you doing? All right. So that's why I was saying you want to see this card in the reverse position because you're letting the burdens down. You're letting the anxiety, the worry, the overthinking, staying too much up in your head, the exhaustion, the not adequate help, okay? You're letting all that go. And that's beautiful. And I really feel that is because of all this past energy you might have done, Pisces, working on yourself, okay? I think I forgot to say at the beginning of this reading that if you've watched me before, you already kind of know, but if this isn't your energy, Pisces, this could be the energy of the person or people or organization or your general environment or situation, okay? So if it's not you, it just could be some other thing around you at this time. But that's why I always tell people to check out their birth chart, because then if you know your other placements, you can also watch other readings, and depending on where you are in your life, another reading might resonate more for you, okay? But this is where, again, we're going to talk about what's on the top and the bottom of each deck here, okay? So I'm taking my sweater off, I'm hot again. You have the Hanged Man in reverse, okay? And this is energy from the recent past. And Ace of Cups upright. So when we talk about what's in the top and the bottom, it's why certain cards have come out, why we're talking about the Seven of Swords in reverse, okay? And just energy kind of lingering around possibly. So in the recent past, there was some kind of perspective, new perspective that you really needed, and either you were resisting it or someone around you was resisting it, okay? Because it's the Hangman in reverse. And, in this deck, they're showing it as a baby here in the wound, right? And they're, I guess, upside down, all right? So if it was the way the card is, the baby would be going down the way how it's supposed to be when they're born, right? So it's in reverse. But anyway, that's just the imagery. I'm just explaining for some people who are just listening instead of watching, okay? But yeah, so there was some kind of resistance to a change in perspective or learning something new or being open to a different angle of the way that you were looking at something. But despite that, you still got your emotions in control, and you possibly were in a very difficult situation, or your surroundings were a little bit difficult to deal with, okay? Because I was saying that in one of the other readings, they got this card, I can't remember where, but in other decks, they show this Ace of Cups with lily pads in the water, okay? So it's not the ocean, it's more like a river, all right? And so the lily pad is a very resilient plant, okay? So it doesn't grow in the ground or the soil like we think most plants, it grows in the water. And so that's why I was talking about those, you could have been in a really difficult situation or surrounding, but despite that, you're really resilient, sorry. And you created your abundance despite that. You got your emotions in control, okay? And you're moving forward. So that's really beautiful, okay? And then, yeah, before we move on, this is why, again, we're talking about these two cards here with the Seven of Swords in reverse. So maybe in the recent past, Pisces, you were resisting this change of perspective that you really needed. You didn't want to look at something from a different point of view, okay? Sometimes it's hard, right? We all have done that before, okay? But here, in the present, this is the past, you maybe change your perspective and you lay some of that burden down, and that really helps you move forward. Okay, now we're going to talk about what was on the top and the bottom of your other deck here, okay? And again, energy from the recent past and why we're talking about the Seven of Swords here in the reverse. The sun seems to be coming through the window again at this time, but it's not as bad as the other reading yesterday. Okay, so what was on top was the Three of Swords upright, and what was on the bottom was Queen of Swords upright. So you can actually see in just these two cards that work that you did on yourself, Pisces, okay? So one, the swords are down, and one, the sword is up. When they're down, that's mental confusion, anxiety, worry, overthinking, depression. When they're up, mental clarity, okay? So with this past energy, and particularly with the Three of Swords, it can be heartache, right? A broken heart, some type of betrayal, okay? Look at her body posture, low vibrational energies, exhaustion, all those things we talked about. But then you turned it around, okay? You could have used that as a fuel, okay? And said, okay, I don't want to feel like that anymore. So then you got more mental clarity. You possibly reached out to your support system, right? Because you're sitting on the throne. And then you see the bird at the top of the card here, at the very top here. Then you could see things from a higher perspective. And this past work that you did on yourself here, Pisces, is why, again, you were able to lay that burden down and get that adequate help. And again, move forward. So keeping your swords upright. So that's beautiful. And then your very, very last confirmation card here, Pisces, since you had two extra this week, you think you're special. But no, everyone is special, is the Strength card upright. And I want to show it to you right next to the other one, okay? So this is showing that even though you're putting these burdens down, or you're putting the heavy weight down, it doesn't mean you're not strong. Actually, it means you're even stronger, right? So you shouldn't care what other people think, okay? Do what's best for you, always, okay? Trust your intuition always over what anyone says, okay? and take that passion and that courage and then moving forward and controlling your emotions and just keep going. Keep going. All right. It's beautiful, Pisces. All right. So I know since we're a little over on time, but that's okay because the message is the most important. Your very last oracle messages, I have them here for you, Pisces. And I even looked them up in the book ahead of time too for your little question to think about. But your first one is the Seas of Mintanka. Mintanka. Okay, I think I'm saying that right. And it says, seeing potential, bringing unconsciousness to light. And you just see the ocean and the space in the background here. It'll focus. There we go. I'll try to come closer. Hold on. Let's see here. Okay, so I'm just give you these two sentences to think about with this card real quickly. Anyway, it says, how can you see the potential in the situation that you're facing? Okay, now it's focused. All right, and the other one is, what unconscious patterns are you being called to bring to light? Okay, yeah, so if there's unconscious patterns that are no longer serving you, let it go, right? Just like that burden we were talking about with the Seven of Swords in reverse. You're already doing it, or you will be doing it. Okay, so beautiful, Pisces. And then your second oracle card, if you're watching for romantic reasons or even platonic love, right? There's also self-love. Anyway, your message is, release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. All right. You see this angel woman here. All right. But yeah, you can take that for obviously romantic reasons. You can take it for platonic with friends or family. Let go of past friends that no longer serve you or don't resonate with your current vibe or the current person you are, right? Let that go, of course, in a nice way if you can. And then, you know, if it's with yourself, you can do wait, before that, if you want to release family members, right? Obviously do it in a nice way, but maybe if it's not completely cutting somebody off or even with the friends, you could just pull yourself back for how much time and attention you're giving them and let them know that you're working on whatever, or you don't even have to explain it to them if you don't want to, okay? Just an idea. And then with self-love, right? If there's any old parts of yourself that no longer resonate with your current energy, release that too. Release any energy that's holding you back from your life. So again, do some purifying, cleansing rituals. There's a lot you can find online. I think I mentioned it before, but Patty Negri has a really basic one that I love. It's the salt sugar milk bath. Okay, and so you can do this. My ring, of course, just got stuck. There we go. You can do this with just a pinch of salt, a pinch of sugar, and just a little bit of milk. You can do it either in the bathtub or if you have a shower. Okay, and you're just going to think about clearing everything from you, negative and positive, with the salt. Okay, and then after that, you're going to put the sweetness back in with the sugar, and at the very end, the milk with the nurturing energy. And just all about intention, and just think about letting things go and putting the nice stuff back in, okay? And then you wash it off, okay? So you don't want to be sticky. So it's just a little thing that you can try if you want to. But again, there's tons of stuff online about stuff you can do. And anyway, Pisces, let's go to your last oracle card. It's real cute. It's the Wolverine, okay? And it says, you're a lot tougher than you think you are, all right? So that definitely goes with the strength card that we had as your last tarot card too. All right, so you can always look up like Wolverine power animals, shamanic meaning of Wolverine, Wolverine magic, whatever you want to, if you want to work with this animal during this time. But really beautiful reading, okay, Pisces. Like I was saying, I gotta check my own chart to see where my Pisces is. I think I have at least some Pisces somewhere. So anyway, this is your reading, Pisces. You guys always feel free to let me know if this resonated for you, or if you just want to say hi or anything like that, feel free to if you want to, but you don't have to first. And again, I'm going to take the picture really quickly, fix all of it, and put it on my Facebook page if you want to take a look at it at a later time. All you have to do is click in the description box below there and follow the instructions, so it will be there for you. What else was I going to say? Yes, if you like this video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up. It does help my channel. If you share this video, that is awesome too. And if you haven't already subscribed, well, first of all, if you have, thank you so much. And if you haven't and you want to, it is free. All you have to do is click on the bell icon on the bottom right and make sure that it's blue and it's active. It just lets you know when I put out new videos. So yeah, I will come back later, hopefully. I haven't decided what kind of reading I'm going to do later. I don't want to start the July readings just yet, so I'm going to try to do something fun, but I have to take all the animals out now, so I'm going to think about it while I walk. So anyway, if you guys want to join me in some other videos, awesome. If not too, that's okay. But please take care, and I'll see you guys later. All right, bye.